My name is Renee Kinney. I'm the Healthy Living Director here at the Southwood County YMCA, and we're going to do a 30-minute yoga class that's going to have some movement in the first half and then relaxing at the end. So to get started, wherever you are comfortable, you can lay down, stand up, shut your eyes, whatever you want, whatever is comfortable. All right, all together, let's take in a big, deep breath. Hold on to it. And then as slow as you can, let the breath out. Do that again. Breathe down deep into your belly. Flare out your ribs. Hold the breath. Feel the energy that's with it. And then let it all go. You can just let your breath naturally come and go. Notice how the thoughts in your mind also want to come and go. What makes yoga different from the other physical classes is these first few minutes of grounding and centering yourself. This is time to just observe where you are mentally and physically. And it's also during this time where you can set an intention for your practice, which an intention is just a word or a phrase or something that can bring you back here when you notice that you're distracted by your to-do list. Together again, through your nose, take in a big, deep breath, and then open up your mouth and let it out. Now take this next minute just to kind of move, stretch, wiggle, and bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Sit exactly so that you're comfortable, and if you're feeling tight in your hips, I'll grab blocks and you can sit up a little higher. But what we're going to start from here is reach up as you breathe in and then turn towards the mirrors as you twist and exhale. All right, come back up to the center, reach up nice and high, and then other direction. Keep going back and forth. You can even shut your eyes so you can connect a little deeper to how your breath and your movement are all connected. And then after you finish that second side, come back to the center, but fold forward then. Let your head relax, let your chin drop down. Feel the connection against the ground underneath your butt and your legs, and push into that so you can reach further through your heart and your chest. I'm bringing you a block. If you sit on this block, that might help you be able to fold a little bit more. Now stay in the fold, but walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. That's fine, just how you're doing it. There you go, perfect. All right, now lean over to the other side, walk your hands over. Just notice how that stretch changes from one set of ribs over to the other side, how the connection from your butt on the ground has changed. Can you still keep that firm and connected to the ground? Come back to the center, then bring yourself all the way up, and we're gonna go into a back bend here. So you're just gonna put your hands to the ground and lift your chest up to the ceiling. Lift your heart up higher and think about pulling your shoulder blades back into each other. All right, tuck your chin, come back, and let's come into a tabletop position onto your hands and knees. If this one's uncomfortable, you can stay seated on your hands and knees, or like from home, you could grab a chair. We're gonna do cow and cat. Cow pose, you're pushing your belly down towards the ground, but keep your hips up. Yeah, can I touch you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just gonna stay here. You're gonna push your belly down and then take your gaze up to the ceiling. Okay, this one is called cow. Cat pose is the opposite. You're gonna look underneath for your belly button and then keep pushing into the ground so that your spine can reach up high. Now move back and forth between these two. Come still and flatten your tabletop. And then reach your right arm out in front of you like you're going to shake hands with somebody. Engage your core and reach your left leg back in the air behind you. Just testing your balance. Now, can you start to make circles with your toes and your fingers? And you can just try one appendage at a time. Now try changing the direction of your circles. All right, set those down, lift up your other arm. Extend your other heel back. Yeah, try circling or triangles or whatever it looks like on this side. Set everything down, downward dog. Push into your hands and your feet, and you're gonna take your hips up high to the sky. Even higher yet. And look underneath your belly for your belly button. Can I touch you, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull back. Keep looking underneath you. And get further that way, yep. So you wanna think about pushing your tailbone up into the ceiling. Tabletop is a perfect option for this one too. And then you're gonna go to a fold. Walk your hands back to your toes. Just hang out here in your fold for a couple breaths. Let all your weight come into your feet so that your hands and arms can be nice and free. Take your hands together behind your back. Try to press your heart down towards your toes, but to lift your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Keep your knuckles up, but try to point them over towards either the mirror or out towards the window, just to get another stretch into your chest and your shoulders. Release your hands down to the ground to bring your feet in nice and close together, and then stand all the way up to mountain pose. So you'll stand tall and reach your hands up towards the ceiling. All right, we're gonna go through some sun salutations right now, and we're gonna go nice and slow. It's okay, you can skip things, you can add in extra things. It's your practice. So here we are in mountain. Reach higher, take in a big breath, and then fold forward as you exhale. Again, mountain pose. Stand up, reach for the ceiling, breathe in, fold forward, breathe out. One more time, just like that. Stand up, stretch tall, fold forward. Now from here, we're gonna walk back into that downward dog. So you're gonna walk your hands forward. Push strong into your hands. Lift up high onto your toes, and then tiptoe forward into a fold. So you're gonna come all the way forward into a standing fold. You can always take child's pose or tabletop and take a break, it's okay. All right, everybody, mountain pose. Reach yourself up tall, taking that breath. Now add a back bend in here. So you can keep your arms straight, you can come into a W, but the idea is you're lifting your heart up to the sky and pushing your hips forward to get that little curve into your back. Mountain, pull yourself up tall, breathe in, fold forward as you breathe out. Halfway lift. So this one you're just pressing your heart forward and lifting up that halfway. Fold back down. Mountain, stand all the way up. Back bend. Mountain, fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Mountain. Back bend. Mountain, chair. This time you're going to sit back into your hips and your heels. You can keep your arms long. And you, just like there's a chair right back there, you're trying to reach into it with your hips. Sit down a little lower, Jay. There you go. All right, now from here, bring your hands down to your heart center. Stay in that chair. And by putting your hands here, it's just giving you something to push into, something else to focus on. I want you to push into that left foot and bring your right knee to your chest. And then set it down, try the other side. That's all right, just listen to your body, do what you can. We're gonna go back to the first side. And then from here, we're going to warrior one. So you're gonna step back and angle that heel in and take both hands up in front. Then just stay here and shut your eyes for a second. What is happening in your feet? Do you feel grounded? Do you feel secure? How about your legs? Can you push in a little deeper? Can you strengthen anywhere else? Your ribs, are they flaring out, or can you bring them in, support yourself? Reach longer through your arms, but now bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Bring your hands down to heart center, chair pose. Step forward, bring your knees to meet. Take in one big breath here, and fold forward as you exhale. Mountain, stand all the way up, reach for the ceiling, back bend. Mountain, chair, sit back into your hips and heels, bring your hands to your heart. Now the opposite foot that you haven't tried that warrior with yet. Lift your knee up and then step back. And Jay, you could probably even step your front foot further forward yet. Yep, bend into that front knee, reach your hands up high to the ceiling, and then shut your eyes again. What feels different on this side than it did on the first side? Check in with your feet, your legs, your ribs, your arms, and your shoulders. Where can you make some adjustments? Bring your hands back down to heart center. Step forward to chair. One more time in chair. Sit down as low in your hips as you can, and now come up onto your toes. Stay in chair. Yeah, right there. What's happened to your breath? Are you still bringing it in and out nice and fluid? No, you're holding it, forgot to breathe. All right, set your heels down, mountain pose, stand all the way up, back bend. A back bend is a chance to reset, start over. Mountain, fold. Halfway lift, downward dog. Plant your hands into that ground. Push into the L of your hands and grip with your fingers. Rise up high onto your toes, and then as slow as you can, sink your knees down to the ground. Child's pose is where you're headed. So once your knees hit, take your hips back towards your heels. Let your chest come down towards your thighs. And that block can go underneath your forehead. You could stack your arms up underneath your forehead. Or if it's comfortable, let it lay on the ground. Notice the space that is around your belly and your thighs. And as you breathe into your belly, try to take up that space. We're getting to the relaxing part now, so you can all applause and high five each other. All right, we're gonna go to a threaded needle from here. So your right arm, reach it underneath your chest, your armpit, and try to find a spot for your head to relax. If anyone wants to play around with balancing, you would put your weight up further into your shoulders, or shoulder that's on the ground. And then the leg that is closest towards me, towards this mirror, you extend it back so it's long and up in the air, yes. If you want to balance, it's called broken tabletop. It's designed for you to fall over also. But that's why your arm's underneath, because then you can just roll over. All right, control everything back down to the ground. Come up to tabletop. Cow and cat a few times. Just notice if it feels any different from when we did about 20 minutes ago. And then sink back into child's pose and thread the other arm underneath. And your choice on this side, you can just relax or try balancing and lifting up that leg. Control everything back down to the center, come up to tabletop, and then all the way flat onto your bellies. You can relax and turn your heads to one side, and then bend at your knees and just sway your feet from side to side. You could even have them go in circles with each other. Just a way to loosen up your back. And then let your feet drop towards the mirror and leave them in that direction for a couple breaths. Bend at your knees, Jay, and then drop them. There you go. And then use your core, take your knees over to the other side, and let them stay there for a breath or two. Set your legs back down in the center, and then we're gonna come up to Sphinx pose. So you're gonna have your forearms flat on the ground with your elbows underneath your shoulders, just like that. And you wanna imagine like you're just trying to push down into the ground, and so this part is glued into it. And even if you bring your elbows further out, Erin, like your hands closer towards me, yep, and bring your elbows in a little closer underneath your shoulders. There we go. This is a really big back bend. To make it less intense, you could stretch your arms out in front of you, bringing your chest lower to the ground. Or if you want more, go into an upward dog with your hands on the ground and your chest up nice and high. Now shut down your eyes and just notice what is happening in your body right now. Like even check in back at your toes. Can you flatten them out onto the ground? The tops of your toes. Take 5 more breaths deep down into your belly button. You're trying to breathe into the ground. When you're ready, release yourself back down and then roll on over to your backs. You can keep your heads at the top of the mat like this. We're going to take a reclined twist from here, so you can bring your knees up and keep them next to each other, or you could cross them nice and tight, but drop them off towards the mirror. Your block can also come in handy as a prop underneath your knees or between your knees. And to twist a little bit deeper, look away from your knees out towards the window. Focus and control your breath deep down into your belly, into this twist. Twists are so good for our internals and to work our digestive system. Connect your shoulders into the ground. Use your core to bring yourself back up and over to the other side. Same thing, if you want to twist deeper, you're going to look away from your knees. Come back to the center, bring your knees up into your chest, both or one at a time, whatever feels more comfortable. Just rock around a little bit, readjust your hips. Bridge pose. You can set your feet down onto the mat and then push into your feet and your shoulders and try peeling your hips and your spine up off of the ground. You can stay here and work your strength. You could also lift and lower for more strength, or you can take that block and slide it underneath your tailbone and then relax on the block. Can you take one foot off the ground? Can you take both feet? I'm just kidding. Can you take the other one off the ground instead? You're jumping. All right, set both feet down. Keep your hips up. And then as slow as you can, it's a race to be the last one down. You're going to start to lower your hips into the mat. Feel every inch of your spine as it starts to settle its way back down to the ground. Once you hit the ground, relax. You can let your knees drop open to a reclined butterfly. If there's anything else that you want to do for yourself in this practice, if there's some poses that you know of that I didn't call out, you have about 1 minute right now to yourself to do those extra things. But if you're comfortable and you're ready to relax, just lay back, shut your eyes. Eventually, that's where we are all going to go. So this last part is called Shavasana, and it's just, traditionally, it's corpse pose where you just lay here and relax and you don't have to do anything else. And this part too is what makes yoga a little different than our regular strength training and other types of classes. Just this time to reflect back over everything that you accomplished. It's also a chance to look back and see areas where you might need improvement. But really, it's a chance just to be. The word yoga means union, and it's a chance to witness the union between your breath and your movement, or how your thoughts affect your movement and your breath. It's also a chance to come together with other people and create that community. Before we finish and leave, let's meet together at a comfortable seat. And you can get up and face towards me or towards the front or wherever you are comfortable. So sit so that you feel tall in your spine. And then shut down your eyes and adjust yourself even taller yet. Together through your nose, take in a deep breath. And then open your mouth to release. We're going to finish with 3 breaths together like that. Now bring your hands together at your heart and bow to yourself. Take 1 second to set your mood for the rest of the day. And then we end by saying the salute Namaste, which means I honor you and thank you for joining me. So Namaste. Thanks, everybody.